Hello everyone, more so welcome to Invest. We're talking about investing, finance, and professional development. For today's systems only, the investment I'm going to talk today will be Ethereum ticker ETH. So my second posting as of today. Respect to recording time of 2 p.m. on the Eastern time. Ethereum can trade $3,576, about 2.52% so far. Respect to overall crypto market, specifically on the stable coins, on Bitcoin and Ethereum, is relatively green today, right? And on the opposite side of the spectrum, on selective altcoin, seems like it's also surging as well, with polkadot up about 4.10%, XRP up about 2.16%, while Solana still seems to be incurring some sell-off, down about 1.64%, and Cardano, and with respect to Dogecoin, are just kind of hovering on a sideways fashion at the moment. So with respect to the Ethereum news front, let's talk about the news that I've been capturing for the last 6 hours so far. The first one decrypted 30 minutes ago, talk about cool cats, cryptos, basically, another NFT commercialization. These artwork notched first $1 million in sales. Okay, so with respect to the toads, we already talked about this, I think 2 videos ago. It's basically a JPEG image of 2 frogs, or toads, if you may. One is like a yellow shade, the other one is like a more of a lighter green shade, and they're like facing, away from each other. It's a picture that, frankly, I think a baby can draw it, but it's selling for like $1 million. And seems like another sale has been made for another JPEG image. This is called Cool Cats. And this Cool Cats, the way I would describe it, and sorry for butchering it, it's basically like a deformed Hello Kitty. It looks like a zombie Hello Kitty, and the brain is basically exposed and it's kind of bleeding as well. So it's selling for $1 million in sales. I have no idea why that is the case. I mean, I guess it's an abstract art that people appraise it to a certain level. But is it just another form of like money laundering gimmicks? I have no idea. But it seems like we these are interesting new innovative human behavior in the financial market. So we just have to keep our opinions to ourselves and just accept that that's the way it is, right? Why are like Picasso's or like Monet or these type of art pieces, appraised for over $1 million or multi-million dollars, right? It's because we give the value to them. So people believe that these JPEG NFT images based on the Ethereum platform are worth this much money, then it is what it is, right? So next one is on Bitcoin. Let's talk about Ethereum dominates DeFi space as the TVL surpasses $200 billion. So this is basically talk about the market shares, the market capitalization of Ethereum in the DeFi space. So something that is an informative one, and something that shows and illustrates that Ethereum is no longer the tiny altcoin that it used to be anymore. It's like starting to be competitive against what has historically been the motherlord, which is Bitcoin. Seems like Ethereum is slowly catching up, into the place in terms of the ranks, right? And then the next one is on Bazinga. Talk about Coinbase, which is obviously the app that I unfortunately use, runs higher alongside with Bitcoin and Ethereum. And what's next? So let's take a look at the technicals real quick for Coinbase. We're up about 4.54% so far. You can see that we've been leaping up because of the drag effects that we've been experiencing from obviously Bitcoin and all the other coins, right? It's basically more like a diversified hedge for the overall crypto market. And right now, Coinbase is relatively bullish. We formed a golden cross recently, but however, we can see that we're at the 57 out of 70 on the scale. We also have a gap that we formed ever since the market opened today. So technically, the next level that we'll leap up to will be the 257. Right now, we're trading at the $250 level. So I think we might have a little bit more room to roam up to the 257 and then kind of cool off from there. Because after that, you have to basically run up to the 276 or 277 for us to continue, right? And then the next one would be the all-time high at the 294. or above 300, right, per IPO, which we saw, in the past when it IPO, right? So Coinbase is bullish, obviously is being dragged and have the direct correlation effects with the overall crypto market, aka Bitcoin, if you may, which drags up the whole market, which is up about 6.05% so far. So another news on Ethereum, let's take a look at that real quick. Another one is on Bazinga 2 hours ago, talk about Ethereum rises more than 4% in the last 24 hours. So it's mainly driven by all the other news that we've been keeping tabs, like the Mark Cuban news, the Jim Cramer news, Credit Suisse news, Bitcoin dragging it up so far, the inflationary pressure news, that's anti-correlation with the equity side versus the crypto side. So just a lot of positive news so far that's driving this surge. And also on the technical front, we've been talking about the golden cross, right, per the 2 videos or 3 videos that I posted before, that is incurring some short-term surge right now, right? But in terms, is it a long-term surge? I would say no, because the RSI net canceled out the whole market momentum, right? So something we have to watch out for, because overall we are still overbought, right? So unless we start printing money out of nowhere, and people just magically start, liquidating their holdings on the equity side to buy more Ethereum or Bitcoin, to chase the pump, that could be possible. But how likely would that be, based on how we've seen so far, unless we have some specific catalyst that we've already incurred so far. So I think the continuous surge will be unlikely, but it's something we have to keep an eye out on, right? We don't want to be surprised. We just want to expect these type of foreshadow going forward, right? And then next one is talk about on MarketWatch and CNBC respectively. They talk about the same thing basically. Bitcoin rallies above 55,000 for the first time, right? And right now we are close to it. We're basically $300 away on Bitcoin, up about 6.17% so far, which we'll dive into the technical, in a bit. This is just basically reminding us what happened recently, right? And then that's pretty much it on the news front. The last one is basically talk about Bank of America identifies that JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, PayPal, and Walt Disney all have digital assets exposed in their balance sheets. So something that we learned now, that these corporate companies are holding crypto assets into their financial statements. So let's talk about the Ethereum right now. Right now, we are running really hot, 61 out of 70 on the scale right now. We are still bullish because we don't have a sign of curving down yet. But we know that we overbought right now. So if you buy now, we're basically buying on a premium. So it's up to you if you want to buy now, right? In terms of the next sleep, we'll have to go all the way to the 3,850. So basically, we're just hovering right now, matching with the very non-substantive level of the, what we tested prior on September 16th when we were around the comparable level that we're at right now. So ideal level is still going to be at like 3,150, which will be the first level dollar cost average at. So Bitcoin, let's take a look. So Bitcoin is basically mooning right now. And the next level that we ideally have to get to, we are consolidating at a substantive level at the moment, but ideally we have to get to the 58 at the current level. We are very overbought right now. We are 73 out of 70, so we are exceeding the meter right now. On top of the fact that we're very dragged up. So this is definitely a high premium in terms of the Bitcoin right now. And whatever goes up really, really fast, and these are mainly driven by media affectation, goes down just as fast. So definitely be cautious, right? But if you bought it now, just be prepared that you might sell off relatively momentarily. So something to be cautious of, like 43, 40 would still be the level to dollar cost average at which we had some opportunity to buy at before. When we are relatively more of a depleted mode back in the mid-September, which we had a couple of days, about like a week so to buy, right? Dogecoin, we are curving down a little bit on the RSI, which is good, because, there is a huge leap for us to get to the next level, to the 30. So I think the likelihood of actually trying to get there, which we try, you see, we reached the 27 cents earlier today. We couldn't get there because most people just sell on the spot because that's a really hard level to get above. So I think the Dogecoin at the current level right now is still at a premium at the 62 out of 70. slow curvature down right now. So I think the better opportunity to buy would still be the 20 cents per our technical analysis, which we, still we had like about a week or so to buy at, during the mid-September, if you may. Cardano is still, I would say Cardano is premature at the moment. It's not, in comparisons to the other coins that we talked about so far, I think this is definitely a better option. If you want to buy, like, let's say you just have to buy today, I think Cardano will be the option. We just formed a golden cross recently. It seems like in terms of the surge or the bullishness, it's still relatively premature. We had the 48 out of 70, so it's not like terrible, but not the best either. Ideally, the best level would be the 210 or the $2.05 mark. Solana, we are selling off right now, and I think we just crossed for a little bit, and seems like we're crossing down already. So if we cross, this will be a death cross, right? Which seems like we are slowly doing so. We are seeing some sort of a curvature, right? A tiny belly, if you may. And as we go down, the first level will be ideally going to the 112, right? And then the 96 or 95, and then the 66, which will be the level I will be buying at. And by that point, RSI will be relatively depleted, right? So Solana is definitely, I think this sell-off is going to be imminent going forward. XRP, we tested the 110 earlier today per our technical analysis. That's the level to leap up, right? But then after that, we have a long way to go to 130. So that's 20 cents to leap up. That's a lot of leap up, right? Which we saw. But whatever goes up really fast comes down just as fast, right? We saw that mega whale drop that dropped us, right? And I think this was mainly driven by like the FOMC meeting or the China crackdown news. That's definitely drove the whole market to be fear mongering. And currently we're at the 108. So the ideal level that we dollar cost average at would be the 101, which is before the $1 mark, and ideally at the 93 and the 88 respectively, right? And by then you'll basically deplete the RSI from there. So reflective market cycle, I know is not obvious, and you know that capitulation, anger, and depression is not going to be a flat line like you are dead in the water. It's going to be fluctuating. It's going to look like, oh no, it's going to be, we're still in the complacency stage, we were just at the euphoria stage. But if you look at it and you compare it side by side, I think we are actually in the anger and depression stage at the moment. I might be wrong. Again, I'm not a wizard, right? But I'm just like basically mimicking or comparing the two to see which level are we the most comparable at, right? And in terms of like the risk level to dollar cost average, I think would be 3,150, 2,700, 2,450 to be more safe and risk averse, right? These are my personal level, so feel free to use that as your reference, right? 2,450 would be you being greedy if you wait until that level, right? I think starting between these levels would be logical for your dollar cost average at, right? But let's say you buy now and you have to because someone tells you so. Just hold for a long term, right? And maybe like buy it and then shut off your app and delete your app forever, and then wait, not forever, but until like 5 years from now, and then reopen and re-download the app, and you might see your price level jump extremely enormously higher than what is at the current level right now, right? So it's a long-term game. We have to be patient. It's a marathon, not a sprint, right? Good things takes time, right? Ultimately. So hopefully this is helpful. It's my second posting as of today, and feel free to give me a shout if you have any specific questions again, and stay tuned for us to come up. Take care.